The ocean has one unwritten rule. It does not forgive the unprepared, but it always calls to dreamers. When we first saw this abandoned boat, most people saw nothing more than wreckage. And honestly, there were moments when we thought they were right. But some dreams are too loud to ignore. Can this forgotten shell return to the water once again? The answer starts now. Everything started with an old and deteriorated space. Rotten partitions from the kitchen and bathroom area were removed one by one, revealing structural sections that had suffered years of damage. Once everything was cleared out, the rebuilding process began with measuring, cutting wood, and preparing new components for assembly. The reinforcement and waterproofing stage followed, with fiberglass layers cut to size, applied over the wood surface, and coated with resin to create a strong composite shell, turning the old structure into a durable foundation. Each wall frame was carefully aligned before being secured with bolts and power tools, gradually creating a strong new structure for the interior space. Returning to the old partition walls, I measured, marked cut lines, and removed damaged material. In hard-to-reach areas, a reciprocating saw was used to prepare space for the new wall panels. The old partition walls were cut away and completely removed from the cabin, while the new wooden panels, carefully measured and precisely cut, began their journey from the dock back onto the boat in preparation for assembly. Each new wall panel was moved into position for assembly and accuracy checks. The edges were carefully adjusted to follow the curves of the hull, minimizing gaps and creating the tightest possible fit. Once the new partition walls had taken shape, the next step was reinforcing the structure with horizontal support beams that were measured, pre-drilled, trimmed, and secured with screws to increase overall rigidity. The frame is now solid enough. A layer of adhesive is rolled onto the surface, and fiberglass is applied to form a strong waterproof structure. At first, the windows still looked intact. But once I removed the old frame, I found the wood core was completely rotted by seawater. I used a hammer and tools to remove all damaged material and sanded the surface smooth. A waterproof filler was applied to seal gaps and strengthen the frame, while the old glass was removed. Then fiberglass and resin were applied, forming a strong composite layer that sealed everything and improved durability. From a damaged frame, it was rebuilt into a solid structure ready for harsh conditions. I cut the plastic window panel to match the exact size of the window frame, ensuring strong impact resistance. I pre-drilled the holes, applied waterproof sealant, and firmly fixed the panel into the frame, creating a watertight window built to withstand harsh offshore conditions. At another window, the frame was completely rotted by seawater. I ground away all damaged material, cleaned the surface, then cut a plastic panel to size, applied waterproof sealant, and fixed it firmly into the frame, creating a sealed and durable window, then installed it onto the boat hull. To rebuild the interior space of the boat cabin, I started by removing the entire old cabinet system. Each section was carefully pried off using a hammer and chisel, fully detaching it from the boat's structural wall. In tight corners, I meticulously removed any remaining rotten wood to eliminate all weak points. Once the old cabinets were removed, the wall surface revealed layers of yellowed, damp, and moldy adhesive. I stripped everything away to restore a clean, original base. Plywood sheets were then precisely measured and cut into uniform narrow strips, ready for the new wall cladding process. I applied high-strength adhesive to the back of each wooden strip, then installed them onto the wall and carefully aligned them in place. One by one, the strips were fitted tightly together, forming a complete wooden wall panel that feels clean, modern, and significantly more warm and refined. I started by removing the entire kitchen plumbing system, crawling under the cabinet to disconnect old pipes and take out the rusted stainless sink. Heavily corroded fixtures were removed using specialized pliers, fully clearing the kitchen area. Then I demolished the old kitchen cabinets with a hammer and saws, cutting the structure into smaller sections and removing all rotten material, leaving a completely empty space for renovation. After removing the old shell, I began rebuilding the kitchen cabinet system, reusing the remaining solid frame to optimize the structure. Plywood panels were cut precisely to the measured dimensions using a circular saw, then assembled together with a power drill, forming the basic cabinet compartments. To optimize the limited space, I installed a sliding rail system for the drawers. Each rail was carefully aligned using a spirit level to ensure perfect accuracy before being fixed to the cabinet frame with a power drill. The cabinet structure gradually took shape, fitting tightly along the boat's curved wall, becoming more organized, compact, and stable. I installed stainless steel soft close hinges, drilled precise recessed holes, and secured everything firmly with deep-set screws into the wood. The cabinet doors now open and close smoothly and securely, completing a modern kitchen system built to be durable and suitable for harsh marine conditions. I measured the upper cabinet area, built the wooden frame, and created a sliding rail system to optimize space. Finally, the sliding doors were installed, creating a smoother and more compact setup. Next, I began building the one-piece countertop for the kitchen cabinet system. With careful measurements completed, solid plastic panels were cut to size using a jigsaw. Since the material is thick and rigid, every cut had to be precise to ensure a tight fit during assembly. The most difficult part was shaping the curved corners of the countertop. I cut thin plastic strips, used a heat gun to soften the material, then quickly bent them to match the exact contour of the cabinet frame. This process required precise handling to ensure the edging fit tightly against the structure without deforming or cracking. With the basic shape completed, I continued using a grinder to smooth all sharp edges and round off the corners, making the countertop safer to use in tight spaces while improving its overall appearance. With the countertop completed, I cut the opening to prepare for the sink installation. Test fitting it into position revealed the entire one-piece white countertop, clean, modern, and precisely built down to every detail. For a boat, the electrical system is critical, so I started by inspecting the entire compartment and quickly found heavily oxidized connections caused by the harsh marine environment. Each terminal was removed and cleaned thoroughly to restore proper conductivity. After that, I installed a new battery, tightened all connections, and checked the voltage using a multimeter. Once everything showed stable readings, the electrical system was finally ready for long journeys at sea. With the electrical system completed, I built protective panels to cover all the wiring inside. The wooden panels were measured, cut to match the shape of the boat compartment, then carefully fitted into position. Once everything aligned properly, I secured the structure with screws, creating a clean protective cabinet system that hides the wiring and improves durability while the boat is in motion. I reused the old sink area by cutting out the inner basin to create space for a wall-mounted mini washing machine. The structure was reinforced with additional wooden supports, while reusing the existing drainage system to keep the design compact and efficient. Once the support frame was completed, the washing machine was positioned and securely fastened to the new structure using bolts. I then built wooden panels and cabinet doors to conceal the internal structure, transforming the area into a clean, modern, and far more space-efficient cabinet system. To maximize the limited space inside the boat, I sanded and leveled the entire surface before measuring and cutting the wooden panels to the required dimensions. The support frame and connecting joints were carefully built to create a mechanism that transforms between a seat and a bed. Each component was cut, shaped, assembled, and firmly secured to ensure the structure remains strong and stable during use. The seat panels were installed into position and the folding mechanism was tested. The entire surface was then sanded smooth, completing a compact, sturdy, and multifunctional seatbed system optimized for small spaces. To complete the built-in bathroom cabinet system, I applied wood grain vinyl onto the pre-cut panels, using a roller to press everything firmly into place and trim the edges for a clean finish. The finished panels were then positioned, carefully aligned, and secured with screws to create a built-in cabinet system that fits tightly within the limited space and maximizes storage. I installed soft close hinges, secured the cabinet doors, and completed the entire unit, creating a cleaner, more modern, and more functional space. To prepare for the new paint to bond properly and last longer, I started by sanding the entire ceiling and wall surfaces to remove old coatings, smooth rough areas, and create an even finish. Once the surface preparation was complete, I rolled white paint across the entire area. Layer by layer, the paint covered the ceiling, walls, and tight corners, gradually hiding years of wear and giving the space a fresh new look. As the paint dried, the entire cabin began to transform, brighter, cleaner, and feeling far more spacious than before. To upgrade the entire cabin, I removed the old cabinet doors, trim panels, and interior components to create a completely open workspace for renovation. With the old interior removed, all surfaces were cleaned and carefully prepared for the next stages of finishing. I applied adhesive across the wall panels and interior components before covering them with wood grain finishes to create a more consistent appearance. Each section was carefully rolled and pressed to improve adhesion, remove air bubbles, and create a smooth surface. Excess material and edges were then trimmed and refined to achieve cleaner and sharper lines. Once all components were finished, I reinstalled the wall panels, cabinet doors, and accessories back into place, carefully aligning and assembling each piece before securing everything firmly to the frame. Each door was installed and tested for smooth operation before completing the entire interior, transforming the old cabin into a cleaner, more modern, and better organized space. I used cutting and grinding tools to remove excess material, creating cleaner, sharper, and more even edges, Edge trim pieces were prepared, adhesive was applied, and each section was installed along the corners to improve both durability and overall finish. Once all trim pieces were secured in place, the corners became smoother and more seamless, making the finished cabinet look stronger, cleaner, and far more refined. Back in the kitchen area, I cleaned the entire space, removing dirt and old marks to prepare everything for the finishing process. Adhesive was applied across the cabinet surfaces before installing the new wood grain finish. Around curved sections and corners, the material was heated and carefully shaped to fit tightly around the structure. Excess material was then trimmed away and the edges were refined, giving the entire kitchen cabinet system a cleaner, more uniform, and more modern appearance. And removed the entire kitchen countertop, applied white paint across the surface, and used heat treatment to create a smoother and more even finish. Once completed, the countertop looked cleaner, brighter, and ready to be installed back into place. The propeller shaft was heavily corroded and seized after years of exposure to salt water. After several failed attempts, I used heat and impact force to free and remove the entire assembly. Next, I had to dive underwater to inspect the propeller system beneath the boat. The propeller blades were covered with marine growth, so I cleaned them, inspected the assembly, and tightened all mounting points to ensure safe operation. The old engine was too badly damaged to keep running, so I decided to upgrade to a more powerful drivetrain. The process started by installing and aligning the drivetrain components while checking all connection points before placing the new engine into the compartment. However, the original wooden engine mounts had severely deteriorated after years of exposure to salt water and could no longer support the added weight. The old structure was removed and replaced with a completely new support system built from reinforced wooden members fixed directly to the hull structure. To improve durability and waterproofing, I applied multiple layers of fiberglass and composite over the entire engine mount, creating a much stronger structure than before. After sanding the surface smooth and finishing with a protective white coat, the engine compartment was finally ready for the new power unit. The new engine is now firmly mounted on the reinforced engine bed, and I begin connecting the full drivetrain system. The propeller shaft is precisely aligned and tightly secured to the gearbox, ensuring perfect concentricity to eliminate vibration during operation. To protect the engine in a saltwater environment, a raw seawater filter is installed to remove debris and marine organisms before water enters the cooling system. At the same time, the fuel water separator is properly mounted to keep diesel clean and stable. Next, the exhaust system is installed and firmly secured with heavy-duty clamps. The heat insulation layer helps reduce temperature and ensures safety throughout the engine compartment during operation. Fuel lines are then neatly routed along the compartment, connecting the tank through the filtration system directly into the engine. The starter battery is installed and securely tightened, completing the electrical, water, and fuel systems. The control system is connected to the central dashboard, while the throttle cable is installed into the engine's mechanical lever and precisely adjusted for correct travel. After tightening all locking bolts and checking cable tension, the system is fully synchronized and ready to respond instantly to every control input. The interior sealing work begins by trimming all protruding screw ends using a handheld cutting tool, leaving a clean and even surface ready for finishing. A full coat of white paint is then applied across the ceiling, covering old stains and making the cabin brighter, wider, and more modern. Once the ceiling paint is fully dry, the crossbeams are precisely fabricated, then cut and ground using a cutting tool to create accurate openings for the LED lighting system. At the same time, all electrical wiring is routed internally within the boat structure to ensure safety and maintain a clean, organized layout. The LED fixtures are installed, wired, and securely mounted to the ceiling to withstand movement at sea. Once activated, the warm light reflects across the white ceiling, transforming the cabin into a clean and cozy living space. The old kitchen electrical cabinet had deteriorated, with tangled wiring and potential safety hazards. The power supply was completely shut off to ensure absolute safety during the process. Old components, such as circuit breakers, wires, and connectors, were carefully removed, clearing the entire cabinet space. A new panel was precisely fabricated, with cutouts for a digital meter and properly arranged sockets, ensuring both functionality and aesthetics. Inside the cabinet, a reinforced wooden frame was installed to provide strong structural support for the entire system. All wiring was neatly rerouted and hidden behind the panel. The system is now more organized, safer, and significantly more modern than before. The bathroom system was upgraded by replacing all deteriorated old pipes, followed by drilling, cutting, and reinstalling new technical connections. The shower head was firmly assembled. The boat cabin floor renovation begins with measuring and selecting suitable wood planks, then precisely cutting and fitting each piece around corners, pillars, and partitions. Finally, the planks are fixed with specialized adhesive, creating a solid, seamless, and highly aesthetic floor. The core mechanical system was inspected and restored before upgrading the technology. The drive system, steering shaft gears, drive chain, bearings, and steering column were all disassembled, cleaned, and carefully lubricated, ensuring smooth operation without binding or play. The CPT autopilot system was prepared, including the control unit, waterproof signal cables, and a drive ring mounted on the steering wheel to precisely transfer motor force. The control box was firmly mounted at the helm, featuring port starboard direction control and a fine steering adjustment knob, allowing precise and intuitive navigation control. All signal cables were neatly routed, protected with conduits, and securely fixed, completing the autopilot system ready for marine operation. The system is powered and safely connected through fuse protection, with all cables properly crimped and linked to the bus bar, ensuring stable operation in marine conditions. The CPT autopilot control unit is quickly tested for port standby starboard modes and steering adjustment, ready for precise command output. A drive belt connects the motor to the steering wheel, delivering smooth operation and allowing immediate manual override when needed. When the final details are completed and the entire system runs smoothly, we can return to the cabin space, now much warmer, cleaner, and more comfortable than before. The captain no longer needs to constantly hold the wheel in rough seas, as the autopilot system now provides precise and stable navigation support. From above, the white sailing boat gracefully cuts through the waves, moving steadily across the vast ocean with the help of new technology. The upgrade is complete, opening the door to safer, freer, and more comfortable journeys at sea.